It seems like every time that any type of movie's made out of an IP that's already existing, from a video game, comic books, whatever it may be, they go out of their way to piss off the fans. They go out of their way to make sure that this is as different as it can be from what people were actually expecting, which is nonsensical. When you make something that already has a fan base, you want to do something to please those fans. You want to show it to them the way that they're expecting it. But evidently, that's not the case for Pedro Pascal and the Last of Us series. Pedro Pascal created a healthy distance from the Last of Us game to prepare for the TV series. Now, it'd be one thing if it was The Last of Us 2, because that was a terrible game. We all know that, but that's not the case. This is going to be a series that's based on events from the first game. But Pedro Pascal wants to create a healthy distance. Why? We'll get into that. He wanted to create a healthy distance between the live action series and the original game. The usual red flags have begun to fly for HBO's upcoming live-action adaptation of The Last of Us, as series star Pedro Pascal, who called half of America Nazis, by the way, just in case you forgot, but didn't get fired from Disney, has revealed that not only did he not engage with Naughty Dog's original works, but he also wanted to create a healthy distance between his depiction of the protagonist and the character's video game counterpart. The Mandalorian star spoke on his upcoming role during a recent interview, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, where he plays part of a massive Nicolas Cage superfan. As the interview drew to a close, GQ contributor Jack King broached the subject of the upcoming video game series by saying, "I am the biggest fan of The Last of Us," to which Pascal replied, "Did you play the game? It's so sad. I haven't any skill to play it. And then it was only a matter of minutes before I had to hand it over to my nephew. It really takes a specific kind of skill, and I don't have it." That is pitiful and pathetic that you can't even play a couple minutes out of a video game, Pedro Pascal. But it'd be one thing if you sat there and let your nephew play it and you watched it so you could understand. Is that what he did? Asked by King if he watched his nephew play through the whole thing, "I watched for as long as I was able to that day, and I had to leave Florida. I found Joel so impressive. I found the whole of it such a visually impressive experience. Then I got worried that I would want to imitate too much, which I think could be right in some circumstances and then a mistake in others. So I wanted to create a healthy distance, and for that to be more in the hands of the show co-writer Craig Mazin and the game writer Neil Druckmann." So you didn't want to know anything about the character. It sounds a lot like when John Cena was like, "Do you want me to read these books about Peacemaker?" And James Gunn's like, "No, I don't want you to have any sort of influence from the actual source material." And it's one thing to listen to direction and listen to what Neil Druckmann and the writers and the director want you to do for this series, and another to say, you know what, I have no desire to actually learn anything about this character, to understand their mannerisms, what motivates them, anything like that. I just want it to be spoon-fed through me. I just want it to be spoon-fed to me by these other people. That's such a stupid, nonsensical thing. We're looking at a Halo series right now that is as un-Halo as it could possibly be, where you have people admitting they didn't play the games. They didn't really care about the games at all. And the product looks like they didn't care about the games. Now, Pedro Pascal is going out there admitting, you know what? Yeah, I wanted to make sure that the actual Joel in the video games, that not too much of that rubbed off on me. I don't want to imitate him. I don't want to be like this character. It's supposed to be our own type of portrayal. There are red flags already, and this show is far from coming out. The Last of Us will likely be a disaster because it has a lot of shitty people involved, including Neil Druckmann, who is an absolute cuck, a piece of shit, the man behind The Last of Us Part 2. So you know he already wants to destroy Joel's character. We've seen that in real time. I imagine he'll do it with this TV series as well. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.